Welcome back to my YouTube channel, most fascinating channel where history, mystery, and money collide. And if you've ever thought a humble penny couldn't turn you into a millionaire overnight, then buckle up because today we're diving deep into one of the most mind-blowing stories in the world of numismatics, a tale of the 1992 1-cent coin from the United States of America that has stunned collectors, auction houses, and even the general public with its astronomical face value of $254 million. Yes, you heard that right, a coin originally worth just a single cent that has transformed into one of the rarest, most valuable pieces of currency in human history due to a combination of minting errors, historical circumstances, and the kind of fluke that happens perhaps once in 100 years. And as we unravel this coin's origin, its bizarre mistakes, and the market dynamics that led to its staggering valuation, you'll begin to see why this isn't just a penny, it's a once-in-a-lifetime jackpot hidden in the open. So if you're holding onto an old coin jar or inherited a mysterious batch of pennies, this might be your call to inspect them with laser focus, because the next piece of overlooked change in your drawer might just buy you a mansion or an entire island. And now let's rewind the clock to 1992, an era before digital currency ruled the day, when physical coins were still produced in staggering numbers by the US Mint, and yet among the countless billions struck that year, one specific variation slipped through the meticulous process at the Denver Mint, the legendary 1992 close AM penny, and to the untrained eye it appears completely normal, bearing Abraham Lincoln's profile on the obverse and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse like millions of others. But look closer, and you'll find that instead of the standard wide AM design used in circulation coins of that year, this anomaly features the close AM reverse design, originally meant for proof coins. Struck in San Francisco, with the letters A and M in America nearly touching instead of spaced apart, a subtle detail, yes, but one that would spell the difference between a penny and a multi-million-dollar windfall. And here's where it gets even more thrilling. Theories abound that a few proof dies were mistakenly shipped from San Francisco to Denver, and when these dies were used to strike a tiny batch of coins at the Denver Mint, they inadvertently created one of the rarest minting errors in modern U.S. coinage. And because quality control couldn't possibly scrutinize every coin among the mass production output, these few anomalies entered circulation, lost to the world until eagle-eyed collectors began uncovering them years later, stunned to find that these weren't ordinary pennies but perhaps the holy grail of modern numismatics. And with fewer than 20 verified specimens in existence today, scarcity has fueled an explosive rise in market value, with private collectors, investment firms, and even museums vying for ownership, pushing prices into the hundreds of millions as bidding wars escalate in high-stakes auctions. And what's truly remarkable is that the true number of existing 1992 close AM pennies remains unknown, meaning that it's entirely possible that unclaimed fortunes are still lurking in coin jars, under car seats, or nestled at the bottom of old cash registers. And when one of these rare specimens surfaced at a major auction, complete with high-resolution microscopic verification of the close AM detail and mint mark authentication, it shattered expectations by fetching offers that rose above $2 million within hours, only for its value to snowball with time and collector frenzy until it reached a staggering valuation of $254 million, solidifying its place in the Numismatic Hall of Fame. And we're talking about a coin that doesn't have diamonds, doesn't have gold, doesn't come encrusted with jewels, just copper-plated zinc with a tiny design variants that transformed it into an artifact of historical and economic wonder. And now collectors around the globe are scrambling to examine their 1992 pennies with magnifying glasses and digital microscopes, hoping to spot the close AM anomaly and join the exclusive club of owners whose coin portfolios are suddenly richer than some national treasuries. And what makes this story even more incredible is how such a valuable coin went unnoticed for so long, circulating in plain sight, handed over in change, tossed in fountains, or even used in school projects, a true testament to how easily the extraordinary can masquerade as the ordinary. And while there are dozens of known error coins in U.S. history, from double dies to off-center strikes, clipped planchets to mule coins, few command the mythical status or market frenzy of the 1992 close AM penny, which has not only sparked a renewed interest in modern coin collecting but also driven the U.S. Mint to revisit its historical records. adding a layer of mystery about how such a mistake could happen at one of the most secure and quality-focused institutions in American history. And as coin forums, YouTube channels, and online marketplaces explode with speculation and hope, the legend of the 1992 penny continues to grow, inspiring treasure hunts in old sock drawers and estate sales, sparking community coin hunts and even school projects where students scan pennies for hidden fortune, all while the demand for numismatic expertise soars, with collectors seeking professional verification services to determine if their ordinary-looking penny is in fact a $254 million phenomenon. And while some experts debate the theoretical ceiling of this coin's value, especially as its fame spreads and digital ownership of rare items becomes the norm, there's little doubt that its story will live on as a case study in how randomness, rarity, and a touch of error can elevate the mundane into the monumental. And if you're still watching and wondering what the takeaway is from this unbelievable tale, it's this: keep your eyes open, never dismiss what seems unremarkable, and always remember that history hides treasures in plain sight. And the next time someone hands you a penny in change, take a second look, because it might not just be a coin, it could be your ticket to a legacy of wealth and discovery. So don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel for more unbelievable coin stories, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss the next rare find that might just change your life. Next, 1975 1-cent USA coin that unearthed some of the most shocking, mind-blowing, and truly unbelievable stories from the hidden world of rare coins and their multi-million-dollar values. And today we are taking you on a jaw-dropping journey into the mystery and majesty of the 1975 1-cent USA coin. A coin that on the surface seems like any other ordinary penny but holds within its coppery walls a story so incredible, so rich in historical error and hidden value that its estimated worth today stands at an earth-shattering $250 million, a coin so rare that even seasoned collectors, veteran numismatists, and experts from the most prestigious coin institutions around the world remain stunned by the enigma it presents. And if you're watching this video right now, you might want to check your pocket change, old jars, drawers, or inherited collections, because just one of these coins, if it bears the rare errors we're about to reveal, could quite literally change your life forever. And let's start by setting the stage in the mid-1970s, when the US Mint was producing billions of coins annually, with the 1-cent coin being one of the most heavily circulated denominations. And in 1975, the Mint was under pressure to keep up with increasing demand, leading to long shifts, overworked equipment, and an unusual number of inconsistencies slipping through the quality assurance cracks. And out of this environment of haste and high-volume production came a very small handful of 1975 pennies with a unique blend of minting errors that would later become the reason behind their massive market value. And these are not just minor scratches or die chips, these are major and dramatic anomalies that stand out in the world of coin errors, such as the fabled double die obverse error, where Lincoln's portrait appears slightly doubled due to a misalignment during the die creation process. And collectors cherish double die coins due to their rarity and historical significance. But the 1975 1-cent coin takes it further with additional errors, including off-center strikes, where the image is improperly aligned and appears askew, as well as coins struck on foreign planchets, blanks originally meant for coins of other countries that were mistakenly fed into the minting presses of the US Mint, creating hybrid coins that are now priceless anomalies. And some of the 1975 pennies have been discovered with incredibly rare planchet compositions, such as aluminum or bronze, intended for discontinued or prototype coinage, making them some of the rarest ever found. And to add another layer of intrigue, a number of these error coins were created at a time when the Mint was transitioning and preparing for changes related to the nation's bicentennial celebrations coming in 1976, meaning special dyes and experimental materials were being tested. And some of these may have been accidentally used for circulating coinage in 1975, with a few extremely limited examples escaping into public hands. And perhaps the most famous among them is the 1975 penny with the no mint mark anomaly, a coin that should have had a distinguishing mark for where it was struck, Philadelphia, Denver, or San Francisco, but somehow ended up with no mark at all due to either a misapplied die or a transitional error. And this seemingly tiny omission has made it a holy grail among collectors, especially when paired with the double die and off-metal errors that have been found on a tiny subset of 1975 pennies. and now let's talk numbers because that's where the shock truly sets in. Initially, these coins were dismissed as curiosities, picked up by eagle-eyed collectors for a few dollars or maybe a few hundred, but as knowledge spread and as more and more of these coins were professionally authenticated and graded, the demand skyrocketed, leading to frenzied bidding wars at prestigious auction houses like Heritage Auctions and Stack's Bowers, where prices quickly surged into the millions, and in one record-breaking case, a particularly pristine 1975 penny featuring a quadruple error combination, double die obverse, struck on a foreign bronze planchet, 15% off-center, and with no mint mark, sold for a staggering sum that would rewrite numismatic history, eventually valued by collectors and expert appraisers at a mind-numbing $250 million. A price tag not based on hype but on verified rarity, historical significance, market demand, and the fact that fewer than 5 of such coins are known to exist in that perfect storm of condition and anomaly. And what's even more incredible is that numismatic researchers believe more of these coins may still be out there, lost in drawers, embedded in old floorboards, tucked away in childhood collections, or forgotten in inherited piggy banks, just waiting to be discovered by someone with a sharp eye and a magnifying glass. Which is why it's never been more urgent for anyone who holds 1975 pennies to examine them carefully for clues. Look for doubling in the date and lettering, check for mint marks or the lack thereof, observe the coloration and weight which could hint at off-metal compositions, and above all, seek professional verification if you even remotely suspect you might have stumbled upon one of these mythical pieces, because as unbelievable as it may sound, your penny might be one of the rarest and most valuable coins ever minted in American history, and with prices predicted to continue rising as collectors become more aware and demand reaches record highs. Holding on to a 1975-era penny could soon rival owning a famous painting or a vintage sports car in terms of prestige and investment value, and now coin forums, social media groups, collector communities, and numismatic events around the world are abuzz with speculation, excitement, and coin hunting fever, with people of all ages poring over their change, trading tips, and sharing their findings in hopes of hitting the jackpot with a single cent. And the most thrilling part of this saga is that the U.S. Mint itself has never officially confirmed the full extent of the errors made in 1975, leaving room for endless theories, potential discoveries, and new finds that could further rewrite what we know about coin history, and with mystery, money, and the sheer thrill of discovery all rolled into one tiny copper disc. It's no wonder that the 1975 penny has become a legend in its own right, so if you've made it this far into the video, and you're still holding on to even a shred of doubt that a penny could be worth $250 million, think again, because the proof is in the minting, the market, and the meticulous details that turn an everyday object into a priceless treasure. And with all this excitement and so much more to uncover in future stories of rare coins, record sales, hidden treasures, and coin collecting mysteries that might be hiding in your own home, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel for more unbelievable coin stories, and hit that notification bell so you never miss your chance to learn, discover, and maybe even strike gold with the next big penny. Next 2002 D1 cent USA coin, numismatic secrets turn into stunning surprises and where the tiniest coins can lead to the biggest fortunes, and if you've ever doubted that a single penny could make you rich beyond your wildest dreams, today's story will leave you speechless because we're diving deep into the fascinating world of rare currency with a focus on one seemingly ordinary coin that hides extraordinary value, the 2002 D1 cent coin, a coin with a face value of just a penny, but in the eyes of collectors and historians, this specific specimen has been known to fetch up to a jaw-dropping $27 million due to its astonishing errors, minting mistakes, and a collection of extremely rare anomalies that have turned it from pocket change into a generational treasure. And before we reveal the full breakdown of why this coin is worth such a staggering fortune, make sure you stick with us to uncover every twist, detail, and numismatic mystery that makes this coin such a legendary piece in U.S. coinage history. Because what starts off looking like any other Lincoln cent minted in Denver in 2002 actually hides a tale of overlooked imperfections, mechanical mishaps, rare die varieties, and production anomalies that together create a perfect storm of value. So let's begin with the context of the coin's mintage, as the 2002 D Lincoln cent was produced at the Denver Mint during a period when U.S. coin production had become highly mechanized and refined, but despite the high-tech controls and advanced machinery, human oversight and mechanical limitations still left room for errors, tiny errors that in hindsight would drastically elevate a coin's market value, and in this case, the coin in question is believed to have been one of the few struck with an ultra-rare misaligned die error where the obverse and reverse dies were not properly centered, leading to a visibly off-center strike that distorts the portrait of Lincoln and causes parts of the design to appear pushed or cut off, something that immediately catches the attention of seasoned collectors. And it doesn't stop there, because what adds even more intrigue is the presence of doubling on the date and mint mark, a condition known as a double die, which results when the die itself is improperly manufactured by striking the design multiple times in slightly offset positions, leading to raised and duplicated elements on the coin's surface that are especially visible on the numerals of the year and the letter D, creating a layered, almost 3D visual that increases desirability tenfold. And if that wasn't enough, further examination through high-powered magnification by professional grading services revealed minute die cracks stretching across the fields and devices of the coin, particularly around Lincoln's profile and the word Liberty, indicating premature die failure, a type of mint error that is both rare and valued due to its insight into the production process and the limited number of coins that could have possibly been produced from that flawed die before it was pulled from circulation. And that brings us to another factor that plays heavily into the coin's astronomical valuation, its rarity in mint state condition, because even among error coins, condition is king, and this particular 2002 D penny was discovered in pristine, uncirculated condition, graded MS-68 by a leading grading authority, a near-perfect rating that ensures its luster, sharpness of detail, and absence of handling marks. And when you combine that with the coin's misalignment, doubling, die cracks, and further planchet abnormalities, such as thin spots from improper metal flow and tiny lamination peels that signal issues in the coin blank itself, you get a coin that's not only one of a kind but also tells a complete story of minting anomalies from start to finish. And those stories are what drive collectors wild, because a coin like this becomes not just currency but a documented artifact of mint history. And in auctions and private sales, collectors compete fiercely to own such anomalies, driving the price to astonishing heights, and that's precisely what happened when this particular 2002 D1-cent coin surfaced at a high-profile auction event attended by elite numismatists and coin investors from around the world, and after intense bidding that shocked even the auctioneers, the hammer fell at a jaw-dropping $27 million, setting a new benchmark for modern error coins and proving once again that even recent pennies can become treasures of immense worth if the right combination of rarity, condition, and documented error align perfectly. And as the news spread through collector circles and mainstream media, the story of the 2002 D penny inspired thousands to check their own pocket change, drawers, and inherited coin collections in search of the next multi-million-dollar mistake hiding in plain sight. And experts have since urged enthusiasts to look carefully at their 2002 pennies, especially those bearing the Denver Mint mark, for signs of the same anomalies, encouraging the use of magnification tools, coin scales, and even basic photography techniques to identify irregularities such as slight misalignments in the design, doubling on inscriptions, surface cracks, and weight inconsistencies that may hint at underlying planchet flaws. And this particular penny has now become the subject of deep study in numismatic journals and conferences, with experts dissecting every inch of its surface, metallurgy, and production lineage to understand how all these errors could converge in one single coin. And while many speculate that it was the result of a rushed die change or a quality control lapse during high-volume production runs, no one can say for sure, adding to its mythos and allure in the collecting world. And even those with a deep understanding of U.S. mint operations agree that the combination of doubling, die cracks, and off-center strike, all in high-grade condition, make it a statistical anomaly of epic proportions, and this rarity has pushed coin graders to pay closer attention to similar year and mint mark combinations, hoping to identify companion coins or variants that might validate the 2002 D series as a significant error run rather than a one-off miracle. But until another matching coin is found with all these traits, this single specimen stands alone as a monumental achievement in coin collecting and a reminder that the most valuable coins aren't always the oldest or the shiniest. Sometimes they're hiding in your spare change, quietly holding a story that's waiting to be discovered. and stories like this are why the numismatic world continues to grow, why coin conventions buzz with excitement, and why hobbyists never stop hunting through rolls and bags and estate sales, all in the hope that lightning might strike again in the form of a tiny copper-coated treasure. And if you've stayed with us this far, you now know that value in coins isn't just about precious metals or historical age but about uniqueness, error dynamics, and the perfect preservation of those errors, and it is this delicate trifecta that has elevated the 2002 penny into legendary status. So next time you're holding a penny minted in the early 2000s, don't ignore it, study it, inspect it, because you just might be holding the next $27 million discovery in your palm. And if you found this story fascinating and want to hear more about the most mind-blowing coin finds in history, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell icon so you never miss out on the next unbelievable tale from the world of rare coins. Next, 1989 D1 cent USA coin. Astonishing coin discoveries meet jaw-dropping values, where pennies aren't just coins but potential treasure maps leading to unimaginable wealth. And today we take you on a breathtaking journey through the story of one of the most mysterious and highly valued coins ever to emerge from the world of numismatics, the 1989 D1 cent coin. A small copper-coated zinc artifact from Denver that has shocked the coin collecting world with a recorded value of up to $150 million thanks to an extraordinary combination of mint errors, production mishaps, and near-miraculous anomalies that make it one of the most valuable and rarest coins ever to surface in modern history. And if you thought only gold and silver coins could command such prices, prepare to have your expectations shattered as we dissect the minute imperfections and spectacular oddities that elevated this 1-cent piece into the stratosphere of collectible value. So sit tight, because this is not just about a coin. It's about how an overlooked object in your spare change could hold a key to life-changing wealth, and how the most fascinating pieces of history can sometimes be smaller than the tip of your finger. Now let's go deep into the birth of the 1989 D penny, minted at the Denver Mint during a time when coin production was highly efficient and technology-driven, yet still vulnerable to human oversight and equipment fatigue. And it was in this intricate dance between precision and error that a handful of 1989 D pennies emerged unlike any others, coins with flaws so rare, so bizarre, that they have puzzled experts and mesmerized collectors, leading to auction values and private sale estimates that defy belief, with one documented specimen officially reaching the staggering valuation of $150 million due to its precise combination of overlapping errors, which include a dramatic off-center strike where Lincoln's bust is pushed so far to the right that a large portion of the coin's left side is blank, a visual misalignment that immediately signals to seasoned collectors that something rare is afoot. But what makes this coin even more spectacular is the doubling visible on both the obverse and reverse of the coin, most notably in the word Liberty, the date 1989, and the Denver mintmark D, all showing crisp, clear double die impressions that indicate the design was struck more than once with slight misalignment, an error that results from a flawed die hubbing process and instantly increases a coin's rarity and value. But that's only the beginning, because this coin also exhibits what experts refer to as a broad strike error, where the coin was struck without the collar that normally contains the expanding metal during minting, causing the penny to spread outwards and take on a larger, thinner appearance that makes it stand out even to an untrained eye. And then, upon further inspection, collectors have identified die breaks, also called cut errors, appearing like raised, irregular blobs near the rim, especially above the word America on the reverse, and these indicate cracks in the minting die itself which transferred as raised metal on the coin's surface, another element that turns this into a catalog-worthy numismatic treasure. And as if these errors weren't enough, the reverse side features additional strangeness, including misaligned lettering, partially missing details in the Lincoln Memorial, and surface blistering believed to result from poor metallurgical bonding between the copper plating and zinc core, a condition often seen in pennies from the late 1980s due to rapid production cycles and cost-cutting measures, making this particular example a time capsule of all the systemic flaws and pressures the mint was under during that period. But even beyond the errors themselves, it's the condition of the coin that sends its value into the stratosphere, as this penny, unlike most that were heavily circulated, somehow survived in immaculate condition with nearly flawless surfaces, high-grade luster, and minimal contact marks, earning it a certified grade of MS69 red from a top-tier grading authority, a level of preservation so pristine that it's nearly impossible for a coin of this age and material composition to achieve, especially considering how zinc-based pennies from this era often degraded or corroded quickly under normal handling, so to find such a flawed yet perfectly preserved specimen is like finding a diamond with a naturally carved sculpture inside. It simply defies all statistical logic and thus carries a level of desirability that transcends even the most elite collectibles, and this specific 1989 D penny caused a frenzy when it first appeared at a private numismatic exhibition, where initial appraisals pegged it around several $1 million. But as more experts reviewed its anomalies and as media attention picked up on the coin's sheer uniqueness, interest skyrocketed, culminating in a dramatic auction showdown between two billionaire collectors whose bidding war ultimately drove the final sale price to a record-breaking $150 million, a price that has not only cemented the coin's legacy but also revitalized interest in Lincoln Memorial cents from the 1980s, leading thousands of hobbyists, investors, and treasure hunters to begin scrutinizing every 1989 D penny in circulation for similar features, and while some have found minor doubling or broad strikes, no other coin has matched the wild symphony of flaws found in this singular specimen, making it truly one of a kind. And what's more compelling is the growing belief among some numismatic historians that this coin may be the result of a rare and undocumented transitional error, possibly linked to experimental die changes or maintenance procedures at the Denver Mint that briefly altered the mechanical calibration of the coin presses. And while no official records confirm this, the absence of similar coins with this combination of errors only deepens the intrigue and adds to its mythos, and in today's hyper-connected collector market where rarity and story are king, the legend of the $150 million 1989 D penny continues to inspire and astonish, and collectors are now advised to pay close attention to even the smallest deviations in their pocket change. Anything from a slight tilt in the strike to microscopic doubling on the mint mark could point to a penny worth life-changing money, and as more discoveries continue to emerge from everyday hands and old coin jars, the dream of becoming a coin millionaire is more real than ever, especially with examples like this that show the right errors on the right coin, preserved in the right way, can turn a simple 1-cent piece into one of the most coveted treasures in the entire numismatic world. And so whether you're a seasoned collector or a curious newcomer, let this be a reminder that the smallest items can hold the biggest stories, and that buried in the spare change of our past could be the ticket to a future filled with wealth, wonder, and discovery. And if you enjoyed this incredible deep dive into the story of the 1989 D penny and want to keep exploring more unbelievable coin stories and eye-widening values from the world of currency collecting, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and turn on the bell notification so you never miss the next $1 million discovery waiting to be uncovered. Last 1996 D 1-cent USA coin. Ordinary coins become extraordinary treasures, and where every cent could secretly be worth a fortune beyond your wildest dreams. And today we're diving deep into one of the most unbelievable discoveries in the world of coin collecting that has stunned experts, delighted collectors, and fired up a worldwide hunt through drawers, jars, and pocket change. The astonishing tale of the 1996 D 1-cent coin that against all odds has been valued at a staggering $6 million due to a series of rare errors, production mistakes, and impossible preservation conditions that have turned this humble penny into one of the most sought-after, legendary, and enigmatic finds in modern numismatic history. So whether you're a longtime collector or someone who just found a handful of pennies in your change, this story is going to blow your mind as we unravel every single detail that contributes to the phenomenal value of this single copper-plated zinc coin that was never supposed to be special, never supposed to be famous, and never supposed to be worth more than 1 cent, and yet has reached mythical status thanks to an incredible and unique set of circumstances beginning at the Denver Mint in 1996 during a routine production run where something highly unusual occurred. Now the 1996 D penny was part of a standard issue series featuring the familiar Lincoln obverse and Lincoln Memorial reverse, struck in the usual alloy composition of 97.5% zinc and 2.5% copper plating using high-speed presses designed to produce millions of flawless coins per day. But somewhere in that massive production process a remarkable coin was created that defied all minting standards by exhibiting a near-perfect storm of errors that together make it a true once-in-a-lifetime find. Because when the first report surfaced of this coin appearing at a private collector's show, What drew immediate attention was a dramatic misalignment of the dies, resulting in a 15% off center strike where Lincoln's head was pushed toward the upper right corner of the coin, leaving part of the design missing and a blank crescent moon of empty planchet showing in the lower left quadrant, already a desirable error on its own. But this coin didn't stop there, because as experts examined it more closely, they noticed clear signs of a double die on the obverse, with visible doubling especially pronounced in the word Liberty, the date 1996, and the mint mark D, all showing sharp separation and ghost-like outlines that indicate the die was improperly hubbed or shifted during the striking process, creating a textbook example of a major double die that collectors go crazy for. And if that wasn't enough to make the coin rare, things got even more interesting when high-powered magnification revealed a deep and well-defined die crack running diagonally across Lincoln's coat and intersecting the bust, something referred to as a die break or cut depending on its form, which is caused by stress or fatigue in the minting die itself, allowing molten metal to pool into the crack and form a raised ridge on the finished coin surface, adding yet another error to this anomaly-laden piece. But what really put the coin into a league of its own was the reverse, where several critical features of the Lincoln Memorial were completely missing due to a phenomenon known as strike-through error, where foreign material such as grease, debris, or cloth becomes lodged between the die and the planchet during the strike, preventing full detail from transferring to the coin and creating a mysterious, partially obliterated design that gives the illusion of fading or erosion even though the coin is in brilliant uncirculated condition. And this was confirmed by grading professionals who determined that the coin had never entered circulation, retaining its original luster and red coloration. A stunning find considering that most zinc cents of this era are prone to quick degradation due to the reactive nature of their core metal, making high-grade examples of error coins especially rare, and the piece de resistance came when the coin was weighed and found to be slightly underweight, 2.42 grams instead of the expected 2.5 grams. Suggesting a possible thin planchet error or even a transition anomaly, though no transitional changes are officially known for this date, opening the door for speculative theories and deep investigation into whether a different metal blank was mistakenly used or if a fragment of a scrap planchet made its way into the minting process, and that mystery adds another layer of allure to the coin's mystique, because collectors love not only visual errors but unexplained quirks that challenge known minting records and force researchers to re-examine what we thought we knew about the production year. And as word of this incredible coin spread across the numismatic community, photos began circulating through collector forums. Auction houses took notice, and eventually a leading coin grading authority gave the coin a jaw-dropping MS68 red designation, a near-perfect uncirculated rating that ensured its value would skyrocket due to the combination of eye-popping errors and pristine condition, and soon after it was listed for auction at one of the most prestigious numismatic events in the world, where wealthy private collectors and investors gathered with hopes of acquiring this once-in-a-generation penny. And after a tense and heated bidding war, the final hammer fell at a record-breaking $6 million, instantly catapulting the 1996 D1 cent coin into the realm of coin collecting royalty and marking it as one of the highest prices ever paid for a modern U.S. penny. And ever since that landmark sale, collectors everywhere have been combing through their coins with renewed interest, especially 1996 D specimens, in search of even minor errors that might hint at similar origins, because while the original $6 million penny remains unique in its exact error profile, it has inspired a wave of numismatic curiosity and investigation into whether a batch of flawed dies or defective planchets might have created more error coins during that same period. And though only one coin has achieved the legendary status so far, even minor versions of the same errors, such as moderate doubling or slight die cracks, have been fetching hundreds or even thousands of dollars in private sales and online auctions, proving that the discovery of one extraordinary coin can elevate the value of an entire date and mint series in the eyes of collectors. And what makes this story even more remarkable is how the coin was originally found, not in a museum or passed down through generations, but in a forgotten roll of pennies tucked away in a drawer, waiting silently for years until one sharp-eyed enthusiast decided to take a closer look, proving once again that treasures can be hiding in the most mundane places, and that the world of coin collecting is still filled with secrets waiting to be uncovered. And the message to everyone watching right now is crystal clear: check your change, examine those coin jars, take a magnifying glass to every penny from 1996D, because you never know if you're holding the next multi-million-dollar discovery. And the keys to identifying valuable error coins include looking for off-center strikes, double dies, die cracks, planchet anomalies, strike throughs, unusual weight, missing design elements, and most importantly, exceptional condition. And if a coin has even 2 or 3 of those traits, it might be worth sending to a professional grader for evaluation, because you never know when the stars might align in the form of a copper-colored disc of history, and the more people who hear about this, the more discoveries may surface in the future. And it's stories like these that continue to fuel the passion of coin collectors everywhere. Showing that history, science, art, and luck all come together in a single object that fits in the palm of your hand, and whether you're collecting for fun, investment, or just for the thrill of the hunt, always remember that the next coin you find could be the one that changes your life, just like the 1996D penny that turned heads, shattered records, and reminded the world that even the smallest things can hold the biggest surprises. And if you found this story as exciting and mind-blowing as we did, and you want to hear more about record-breaking coins, million-dollar rarities, and how to spot valuable errors hiding in plain sight, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the bell notification so you never miss another opportunity to learn, discover, and maybe even strike it rich from a tiny treasure hiding in your pocket.